Hello, welcome to my channel. I am the Recipe Raider, where I raid other people's recipes to let you know if they're any good or not. So, the inspiration of today's video actually comes from a Facebook and YouTube channel I discovered that's called Retro Recipes. Apparently this gal has multiple recipes that she's collected over the years, and I was fascinated by one that she had on her Facebook, which was Mrs. Osmond's Paprika Chicken. Now, basically, this is going to be from the Osmond family cookbook. You know, the famous Osmond singers like Donnie and Marie and all them. I'm most familiar with Donnie Osmond because of, well, quite frankly, to be a dork, Johnny Bravo. He made a couple of guest appearances. But I do remember some of his songs, and I'm not that young of a young man to be like, who is that? But anyway, Mrs. Osmond apparently was quite the cook and came out with her own cookbook. I wish I had her cookbook, but from the sound of it, it's a bit of a collector's item that's a little pricey. So at least I'm grateful that Retro Recipes shared that on her Facebook. You can check that out in the link. I also will give you a link to her YouTube channel, which I just discovered recently, so perhaps there'll be more material in the future from that. Anyway, this will be on my celebrity playlist. I am doing this paprika chicken, which is simple. I am cutting up some onion, some green pepper, and eventually I'm going to be dicing up some chicken, and then mixing it together with a few spices. And I'll show you what's coming up next here in just a second. I'm going to do at least 2 chicken breasts for this because I have 4, but I feel like with the vegetables that this is going to be more than enough chicken between those vegetables combined with some rice I plan on making with this. It did suggest rice or noodles. I would say if you were to make noodles, I think texture-wise it would go well with some extra wide egg noodles. So obviously we're going to cook some onion and green pepper until it is tender. And then I will take this out of the pan and put the chicken in next. Now the only spices it said was salt and pepper and paprika, but I kind of wanted to add just a little bit more. I always add like salt, pepper, garlic powder to a lot of different meals we have at our house. I'm also doing some parsley flakes, but paprika has to be the star of the show. I did a cup of sour cream. I'm also going to add a little bit more paprika powder to the sour cream itself, as well as a tablespoon of flour, and it says, 2 tablespoons of flour, excuse me, and it says to mix it up in a blender. I have my immersion blender, so here we go. Alright, veggies are done. I'll scoop this out and put my chicken in. Alright, chicken's in. I'm probably, even though it doesn't say in the recipe, I'm going to add a little bit of butter to the chicken. I think that'll be good for flavor. But otherwise, I'm going to do the salt, the pepper, and some paprika. I can do this with one hand. And it says mix frequently, so I shall do that once I add my butter. Oh yeah, definitely smart idea. I did the butter. Yeah, this is the importance of mixing it often because you get this nice, even cook with this. And now, add my vegetables back in the pan. And then I'm going to simmer up some of that sauce with the water to be able to get this all nice and juicy. So it says simmer for like 45 minutes. Oop. Sorry. Now, I believe if I read the instructions right, this is last when it's done cooking. So I think the whole point of the sour cream and flour is After this is done cooking, as long as it does, it's going to thicken up and be a part of the creaminess of this sauce. So, right now it's simmering, and I'll add that once my timer goes off. Alright, actually I had this on residual heat since this is my cast iron pan. Got some leftover Mexican rice I did before. And I'm going to have a taste test with my green onion that I chopped up just a little bit ago. Alright, let's take a look at this. I think this has got some potential. That is really good. I would totally make this again sometime. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I really like the flavor going on here.